Bullied to Death, the story of Daniel Briggs, whose life was lost in 2014 to bullicide. The basics of bullying. Bullying is most often used to describe a form of harassment perpetuated by someone who is in some way more powerful, physically or socially.
Last year, in March 3rd, there was a boy called Daniel Briggs in America. And from what I've read, he was the best person you could meet in the world. He was so kind, so loving, so caring. I believe he moved into high school, and then he couldn't fit in very well. Hunter-trapper, which is an amazing skill to have. And it's so interesting. But not a lot of people in his high school he went to did it. And people bullied him for that. And the music they listened to, people bullied him for that as well. It progressed from name-calling to rubbish being thrown at him, from him being punched, and from him being forced to lick a bus window. And then they bullied him to no end.
My name is Amy Briggs. I'm from Lafargeville, New York. Daniel was an old soul. He had a soft side of him that was second to none for a kid his age. He wanted to help people. Daniel had really been bullied most of his school career. When he hit high school, it exploded. He didn't fit in with a lot of the crowds. He wasn't into sports. He was into hunting and trapping, which not a lot of kids his age are into. So he had a hard time finding kids who had common interests with him. So that made him a target a lot of the time. It started out with words. He was called just horrible names. It progressed to having trash thrown at him. He was punched in the stomach. He was made to lick a bus window. He was jumped from behind walking to the buses. He was ridiculed for the music he listened to. You name it. They looked for any little thing just to make his life miserable. When he was jumped walking to the bus, the boy told him the night before that he was going to do it. He said to him in a text, "Why? I know you don't like me. That's why I don't come near you. I don't have any interactions with you. I respect that. Why can't you respect me? What have I done to you?" His response was, "Because you're a pussy and you need your ass kicked." It makes no sense to me even today. One of the kids that Daniel had a lot of issues with had texted him. I saw the text myself. And it said, "Why don't you take one of your precious guns and do the world a favor? Go." He texted that same kid and he said, "You won't have to worry about me anymore. I'm going to go home and kill myself." And the kid came back with, "Put up or shut up." That day, he told people in lunch. He had told people in his classroom, told a number of people on the bus that he was going to kill. Those were his words. "I'm going home and I'm going to kill." When the bus driver said, "I'll see you tomorrow, Dan," he told the bus driver, "You won't see me tomorrow." The one person he knew that would do something was the last person he texted and the last person he called, his hunting friend Matt. He knew Matt would try to call us, and he said to Matt, "Please don't call my mom. My mom will take me to the hospital." He was trying to keep Daniel on the phone, get his sister's attention. He was writing her notes and having her call their father, who's a friend of my husband's. And we missed the call. We came out of Michael's basketball game, and my husband Rob said, "I missed a call from Cal. I'll call him when I get home." Next thing happened, literally within a minute of saying that, so our other friend Wally calls. Now, guys don't talk to each other all the time. And Rob runs to the van, and he said, "Daniel's talking suicide." I called my next door neighbor and I begged her to go over and check on him. And she walked in the door and she yelled, "Daniel." And she thought she heard him say something. And she shouted out, "We love you." And then she heard the shotgun blast. And I ran to his room, and the sight that I saw was horrific. It was horrific. And I remember hearing myself screaming, but I couldn't feel it. And running back outside. And I could hear Michael screaming, "I want my brother back." And every EMT that showed up, I begged him, "Please just find a pulse. I'll take him any way that I can have him." There was none. I've played a million scenarios over in my head what I would do if I was there 30 minutes earlier. Knowing what I know now, I would just wrap him in my arms and just beg him and tell him how much he means to so many people. Because so many people have talked to us since he died. They've sent us letters. I received letters from kids his age. I just wish he knew how much he meant to so many people. He did matter. He does matter. His book bag with his books still right on the bench where he left it that day. We will never recover from this. Never. When somebody tells you that they are going to kill themselves or they're going to do harm, do something. Tell somebody. Give them their 15 minutes. Validate them. Because everybody needs to be validated. When you know there's somebody being bullied, don't be a bystander. You are just as guilty as the bullies when you stand by and do nothing. You see it, you do something about it. You don't want to intervene, then you talk to an adult. And you talk to an adult until somebody does something.